Okay, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Gary Boyer. I'm the mayor here in the city of Glendora, and on behalf of the city council, I'd like to welcome everybody here. These events, we hold these every quarter, and we gives us an opportunity to recognize a lot of people. We have a lot of special people in the city of Glendora. We probably should do this more than once a quarter to recognize everybody. But we get everyone together, we come out, and we recognize some of the people that live here. So anyway, we'll get started. I'd like to start with introductions. Oh, Karen just made it in. We got Councilwoman Karen Davis is here with us tonight. It's like you're walking the red carpet as you come in there. I like that. I got Councilman Michael Alowis. Councilwoman Judy Nelson. And Mayor Pro Tem Mendel Thompson. Okay, we're going to start with our Holiday Home Decorating Awards. I'm going to begin with a presentation of the recognition of the winners of our 23rd annual Holiday Home Decorating Contest. Judging is done by members of the Community Services Commission. There's a number of different categories based on the best use of lights, the amount of decorations. Anyway, you'll see what they are. But basically, these guys actually get in a bus, they drive around one evening, and they spend the evening enjoying all of the lights that you guys do. So we thank everybody that decorates for the holidays because it really makes Glendora a special place. I was just telling the story. My son got together with a bunch of his friends and all their kids, and they took the list of everybody that signed up, not just the winners, but everybody that signed up for the lighting contest, and drove all over town. And they stopped at a lot of the homes and went up and did Christmas caroling at some of the homes. So if some of you guys, if you had cute little kids come up Christmas caroling one evening, that was my grandkids. So, okay, there were a total of 24 homes participating. Winners did receive a yard sign designed for the different categories. And I hope everybody had an opportunity to get around and see some of the stuff that was going on. So it was really special this year. I'm going to go through. I'm going to announce the families and what they won. And when you come up, we've got a certificate. We got a certificate for everybody. Okay. And then if you'd like to say a few words, take credit for what you did, brag about it a little bit. Okay. We got this guy shaking his head over here, so we're going to have him up here speaking a little bit. Okay. Okay. Let's start our the award for second place for animation was the Davis family on Temera Lane, and we got a video of what they, or a picture of what they put together up here. If I could have the Davis family come up. Davis family's not here. They are probably still working on taking down all their decorations if you look at what they've done up there. But the first place for animation is, I never read these beforehand, the Turunen family on Hacienda Avenue. Are the Turunens here? Okay. Got you going to speak. They won first place for animation. Great job.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what you did.
So I have the light show. It's around 9,000 lights programmed to music. It's about 7 songs, and then you tune your car radio to the station, and you can listen to all the music.
Wow.
Along with the songs.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Can I get your phone number so I can call you next year when I'm ready to do this? Okay, good job. Thank you again. You want to come up and say something, Bonnie? Come on up here.
When Evan was 4, he came to my story time with a string of Christmas lights, about this long. And he said, "Miss Bonnie, can I plug these lights in and show everyone?" And I said, "No, this is city property. You cannot just willy-nilly plug in city buildings." And I said, "But I'll find somebody on staff that can plug them in." So I did. Evan plugged in his string of Christmas lights. He was 4, and we oohed and awed over these Christmas lights. You can imagine what a string of Christmas lights looks like. The other night before Christmas, now he's 12, and when he set this all up, he said, "Miss Bonnie, I want you to come and see my lights." So we drove out there, and I sat in the car, and literally I cried because I thought, here is that 4-year-old little boy with one string of Christmas lights, and now he's won first prize in the whole city. So
Wow. Great, thank you guys very much. Okay, moving on, we've got second place for the lawn display. Says they can't be here, but it's Siciliano family on Tamara Lane. So we've got a picture of their home up there. First place for lawn display is the Earl family on Prospero Drive. Are the Earls here tonight? Nope, give them a hand. Okay, second place for the use of lights, the Landman family on Bradley Court. Erica, come on up with the kids. Wow, great job. Okay, I know you'll say a few words, but you guys gonna say a few words about what you did? Okay, come on up here.
This was such a cool experience. I could not believe when I received the phone call saying we got second place. I was so excited, and I usually don't really participate in contests, with lights. This is our second year, our second attempt, and we were so excited. Everybody did such a great job, and we always make sure to check out all the participants, and it was just really fun. And when the bus came, we were all excited, and my friends, they were out there like Santa and Mrs. Claus were out there, and but it was a fun experience. So thank you.
Great, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Say something?
Oh, you want to say something?
Hi.
We'll take that. Okay, so the first place for the use of lights is the Wing family on Manor Lane. All hers?
She does all the work.
I didn't put up one string of lights. It's a labor of love because I don't see him for a couple of months. As soon as he gets home, he's outside of programming or something. But I think the best part of it is when the cars go by and they're like listening to the music and taking pictures or movies or whatever. And I think that's what the spirit of Christmas is anyway. So it was a cool experience. So thank you.
Okay, well, let's see. The family that won best over, I swear some of these people are home taking lights down right now. The best overall is the Fuentes family on Linfield Street. I think we got a great picture of what they do. And the sweepstakes, which I'm guessing is the best of the best, that goes to the Burns family on Flamingo. Are the Burns here tonight?
Hi, I'm Richard. This is my wife, Diva. And this is our 12th year in competing in the contest. Last year, we set a record in donations for the City of Hope. And this year, we beat that by over $1,000. So we raised $6,518 for this pediatrics department of the City of Hope. And the Scotch Brand Corporation came through again and matched us dollar for dollar. So they got a little over $13,000 for the City of Hope. And I couldn't help but hearken back to when I was Evan's age, standing in my front lawn at Christmas time trying to convince my dad to put some more lights up, put some more lights up. We had a single strand of C9 multicolored lights going across the gutter in the front, and I did everything I could to get him to buy more lights, do stuff, and I just never forgot his answer. It was, someday when you have your own house, you can do whatever you want. So, Dad, thank you.
Okay, you know you're a bit of a junkie when you talk about the C9 light. Yeah. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for getting involved in this year. You know, as we all know, Glendora is a special place year-round, but especially at Christmas time. The love that people put into decorating their homes and the different events and projects and everything that go on in town. So the season always comes to an end, and we start to pick up. But what do we got, about 350 days till Christmas now? Okay? We're all looking forward to it. Okay. Next up, we've got the Community Beautification Awards. The Community Appreciation Awards, okay, I'm giving them two different names, it's one of these two, are chosen by members of the Beautification Nomination Committee to recognize outstanding residential and commercial properties in the areas of landscaping, renovation, and overall appearance. Panel members are asked to submit nominations for the properties which they believe fit the criteria of being well-maintained and thus demonstrating pride in their neighborhoods. Residents can also submit nominations for their neighbors whom they believe have made impressive improvements to the properties. I'd like to thank members of the committee, which include Matt Bartlett. Matt's here tonight. Jack Evania, Jade Knight, and Christina Butcher for their hard work in running around and checking out all these homes. And please enjoy the PowerPoint. We're going to have a PowerPoint of all the homes just like we did. So we'll go ahead and start with the Salinas residents from Bradish Avenue. The Salinas, you guys here? Nope, this is a little bit of what they've done. Looks like they've been working on it for a long time. Let's give them a hand. Next up, we've got the Cabin residents on Bradley Court. Are the Cabins here tonight? You know, it's always amazing. Don't you love driving around town and seeing the different things that people decide to do? And then we go home and we steal it from them. So next up, we have the Hassan Ajiha residents on Cordelia. Are you guys here tonight? Okay. No? Let's give them a hand. Seeing a pattern here of a lot of desert landscaping. People took advantage of the issue when we had the drought and become very drought tolerant. We appreciate that. Next, we have the Weaver residents on Dover Street. Are the Weavers here tonight? Yes. Come on. Evan can do it. You can do it.
My husband did most of it, and he's not here tonight, but we've been working on it for years and years.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, next, the Ellis residents on Lope Lane. Are the Ellises here tonight? Look at what they've done. More of the desert landscaping, being drought tolerant. Let's give them a hand. How about the Lachelle residents on Plymouth Court? Right, congratulations. A little with us?
That looks great. Looks a lot nicer than it does right now after the storm. My wife Laura and I have been residents for 20 years now. And I will tell you that, well, I had something I was going to say, but I noticed my pastor's back there, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. We are truly blessed to live in Glendora, but also to have the home that we have and to be there 20 years. I grew up in Indiana. And every Saturday morning, my dad said, before you get to go play with your mini bike or your toys, you got to cut the yard, you got to weed, and you got to trim. So I still do that. I cut my own yard, I trim, and I weed. And just like my dad told me, I don't play with my cars or do anything until that gets done Saturday morning. So on any Saturday, you'll find me out moving back and forth with the lawnmower. But I enjoy it. It's therapy for me, and like I said, I'm thankful that we live in Glendora and have that home. So, thank you. Thank
you. Okay, next up we have the DeSono family from Queen Anne Court. The DeSonos here tonight? Okay, let's give them a hand. Everyone's yards are so green, it looks like those pictures were taken today, right after we got bombarded with some rain. How about the Gadot residents on Renwick? Did I pronounce that right? Gadet? Okay.
I don't really have any grand vision on anything. I just kind of drive around and see homes that I like and try to replicate what I see, and I never think I'm quite there, but it's nice to be recognized. Thank you.
You know, the trick of it is to knowing that you're never done with landscaping. You always have more work to do. Okay, last tonight we have the Lambeth residents on Traynor Avenue. You have the Lambeths here? Yes. Okay, that's it for our Community Beautification Awards. Again, there's so many people here in town that do such a great job. You know, it's one of those things, we talk a lot about people in Glendora. Sometimes it's like we have a love affair with our homes. They're never quite done. We're always working on them. We're always trying to improve them, and we take a lot of pride in our neighborhoods, and that's what makes Glendora extremely special. So I want to thank everybody for what you do, and congratulate all of the winners. Next up, we have, it's called our Help a Hero Club, helping veterans. Okay, Armel? Who's Armel? Okay, you guys come on up here. The Help a Hero Club was started a few years ago by Armel Guillaume, a Glendora High School student to remember our military veterans. Armel, would you please come up? You're up here, okay. Good job. Listen while we play a KNX news clip featuring Armel, or the founder and president of Help a Hero. We got a news clip?
Armel Guillaume hopes to join the military someday, but in the meantime, she and her friends at Glendora High School are honoring veterans through a school club called Help a Hero. The club activities are making them more aware of the problems facing some veterans.
It's really life-changing because veterans aren't treated that well, especially Vietnam vets.
The 40-plus club members recently placed flags at the Field of Valor in Covina to honor the dead and made warm blankets for vets without homes.
We were able to give homeless veterans toiletries and just necessities that are needed for them. We were also able to partake in Citrus College's Adopt a Veteran for Christmas. So we got a woman named Ashley, and she had a child. So we were able to give them presents, gift cards, through the help of our fundraisers.
Armel tells me she was especially touched by her experience at the Field of Valor.
One of the veterans told us he was really glad that we were doing this, and he was really thankful because he wasn't treated right because he was a Vietnam vet, to the point where he had to burn his uniform because he was ashamed of it. And he said for us to do this reminds us why he wanted to serve in the first place. And that was really touching because we didn't know that we were making that much of a difference.
Armel comes from a military family and doesn't want veterans to become forgotten heroes of society.
I just wanted to create this club because I wanted to thank all the veterans, and not just on Veterans Day. I believe that each and every individual who served in the military should be respected and appreciated throughout their life.
We are proud to name Armel Guillaume as the KNX Hero of the Week. KNX Heroes presented by California Resources Corporation, saluting our military veterans and all our heroes. Diane Thompson, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Okay, it's the club's mission to raise awareness of those who have served and currently serving our country, commemorate their efforts. The club provides students a way to get involved who may not otherwise know how they can give back to veterans. This group has been involved in hosting a drive to collect and hand out toiletries for homeless veterans. They volunteered their time at the Field of Valor down in Covina, placing flags and distributing homemade crafts to veterans, cooked meals for homeless vets, and participated in the Patriot Week, which is sponsored by the America's Christian Credit Union and Project Yellow Ribbon Committee. And Armel, I think you want to introduce some of your friends and tell us a little bit about how you guys got together and what you do. Okay, Armel.
Good evening, everyone. I would just like to thank the mayor and his council for honoring Help a Hero with this award, as well as the veterans and those who are still serving, because without them, we wouldn't all be standing here to receive this award. As you may all not know, I'm a big dreamer. I remember telling my mom out of the blue, the end of sophomore year, "Mom, I think I want to start a club that helps out military and veterans." She told me I could do it, but it will require a lot of work, patience, and commitment. I didn't really know how I was going to start it, but I wanted to do it, so I kept on with it. And I was passionate about forming this club because, like the veterans, I would want to one day be able to serve too, but I made sure that before I serve, I wanted to give back to those who served us. I just wanted to share to you all how this club impacted me. Forming this club, like this boy Evan with his Christmas light, taught me we all have the power to make our dreams into reality, and only doubt and negativity can stop us from fulfilling our dreams. This club was an eye-opener to me and to many. I realized that not many veterans were thanked and appreciated for their sacrifice, especially Vietnam veterans. But what hurts me more is seeing them, a lot of our veterans in the streets right now, homeless. And for this club, I tried to create an atmosphere where we try to appreciate our veterans through both actions and words. Sometimes a simple thank you is enough to make a Veterans Day, and we may not always realize it, but the smallest thing can have the biggest impact on someone. And I know I talk too much, so I will end it by saying thank you to all the people who had supported this club. Through hard work leads success, but I don't believe that this club would be as successful if it weren't for the organizations like Yellow Ribbon Committee, who had welcomed us and allowed us to participate in their events. And I also want to thank my board members, also known as my friends, who Cheyenne, Sandra, Maylena, Isabel, Ariane, Kristen, Stephen, Julia, who had helped me form this club and helped me recruit new members. And I want to also thank the members as well as board for volunteering in these events. Lastly, I want to thank my family because unfortunately I am one of those 18 years old that can't drive yet. So I want to thank them for giving me a ride to these events. And I also want to thank my mom for becoming my first sponsor when I did not have fundraisers, but most of all for believing in me in this club when at times I didn't believe in myself. And to end it all off, I am proud to have established this club, and I think our biggest achievement for this club was the smiles on the veterans we had helped and the people we had impacted along the way. Thank you.
You know, there's so many times that we talk about kids today, and we see them walking down the street on their cell phones and not talking to each other, and we're a little bit worried about the next generation. Next time you think that, remember these guys. Great job, guys. Okay, next, I'd like to call up Matt Egan, Captain Matt Egan from the Glendora Police Department, to make a special presentation to one of our residents tonight. Welcome, Matt.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here on behalf of Chief Rosales. She had another appointment, so I'm going to take over. Chief Rosales met Mrs. Warner on May 12th, 2017 at our Glendora Police Department open house, and they struck up some conversation. Annie was knitting at the time, I believe, and the chief took an interest and asked what she did and how does she do these things, and they got to talking about how we care for our homeless. And for those of you who don't know, the Glendora Police Department and our officers serve every year at the cold weather shelter. And for those 4 weeks that the homeless are brought into our community, we care for them. And this conversation led into how we can do better to not only serve our homeless, some of which who are veterans, but those who just in need, and what kind of things would be helpful to those people. And they came up with a great idea. Mrs. Warner, it took a few months. I don't know the exact timeline, but she can talk more about it. But it took a few months, and she knitted items for the homeless. And she made a cap, a washcloth, as you can see there, either mittens or a scarf. And then in that care package, she included some personal hygiene items, which is something, if you've never had any experience with the homeless, this is something that's lacking, and it is vital both for sanitary purposes and just for that sense of well-being. We all know what it feels like to be clean. And so she packaged all these things together for us, and she made about, I don't know, 20, 30 of them. How many did you make? 22. So she knitted 22 packages, packaged them all together to us, brought it to us, right at the exact same time when the cold started bringing in, the homeless started coming into our community. We disseminated these out to our officers and told them, when you find somebody who's in need, please help them. And so these care packages went in all 15 of our police cars, and they were given out to people in need, regardless if they were homeless or just living in their car. But if there was a need, we offered it. And then the remainder got taken to the cold weather shelter. It was a fantastic idea. Annie's a lifesaver. The chief wrote here, quote, "My heart was heavy with warmth and love that to have a community member to take such heart in a conversation and with her own two hands make these items with such care and love." So please help me welcome Annie Warner to the stage, and we want to congratulate her. Thank you so much.
I'm a hugger, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. It's yours.
Thank you. I'm just overwhelmed. When I talked to the chief, I wanted to do something that would be helpful in the community as a volunteer, and we kind of together came up with this idea, and it sort of grew legs by itself. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and it's something I would have done anyway, and piled a stash of stuff in a cupboard for someday, maybe somebody might want this. And when I talked to the chief, and she was so thrilled to have these items, it just kind of made my heart feel good. And at one point she asked me to keep track of my hours. It was a little over 610 hours of knitting and crocheting, so you can tell I love to do
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Make sure you say hello. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. There we go. The next several groups have partnered with the Glendora Office of Child and Family Services in support of many children and teens in foster care. Like Monica Rivas from the Glendora office. Okay, actually, is Monica here? Hi, Monica. Okay, I'd like Monica Rivas from the Glendora office to join me while we give recognition to each one of them. So come on up here, Monica. Okay. We'll do this together.
Sure.
Okay, and every time I read something wrong, you smack me. Okay, first I'd like to call up Marcia Todd Austin, the Executive Director of Hope in a Suitcase. Marcia, come on up. Okay, there are approximately 35,000 youths in foster care in the Los Angeles County alone. I just got to repeat that. Think about that number. There's about 35,000 children in foster care here in Los Angeles County. Many children do not have a suitcase or a duffel bag when they enter foster care, especially in emergency situations where they're taken out of a home relatively quickly. They often have to bring whatever belongings they can fit into a plastic trash bag. So these kids are taken out of their home and they're putting all of their belongings into a trash bag. And the foster families welcoming the children have had very little time to prepare for their arrival. Hope in a Suitcase mission is to provide children and teens in foster care with a suitcase or a duffel bag, along with the basic essentials and comfort items to make their transition and circumstances just a little easier and more dignified when they make that move. This organization has partnered with DCFS in Glendora and provided their signature suitcases throughout the year. And on behalf of DCFS Glendora office and the City of Glendora, we just want to thank you. Okay, you don't get away. You got to tell us a little bit about how you guys started doing this and what you do.
Well, I just want to say we came from LA. I came from LA, and I want to move to Glendora now. It's so nice here, and I'm so impressed with these young ladies here. And our organization is just kind of a grown-up version of it. Someone told us about this issue, and we were basically PTA moms, and we said, well, we can help. And that was 2 years ago. It was just an idea. And since then, we've provided about 5,000 fully packed suitcases to kids in foster care in LA, just all based on all based on, you know, moms and students and community groups, church groups kind of coming together and donating. It really has just been a snowball, and we're honored to help Glendora, and we hope we can keep doing it. You have to let us, I think one of my co-founders came and presented us to you yesterday, and we hope that we can continue rallying the community and getting stuff for the kids you guys serve. So thank you for all you do for kids who are in need. Thank you.
Give you a certificate. And yeah, please.
Sure. Hi, my name is Monica Rivas, and I'm a supervisor with the Glendora DCFS office. And just to let you guys know, we've had the privilege to partner with different organizations. And one of the cool things that we did with Hope in a Suitcase is we created the Glendora Hope in a Suitcase closet. And basically what that consists of is bins, plastic bins that were donated. And we have clothes that we received from Hope in a Suitcase, which is categorized by age and gender. And it really helps us be able to send a kid who's in transition. I like to use the word in transition instead of saying a kid that's been removed from their home and is going into a foster home, into placement, with at least, a pajama set, a pair of jeans, a sweatshirt, something that they could really call their own, to give them that dignity that every child deserves. So we're very fortunate to utilize Hope in a Suitcase, to have partnered with Hope in a Suitcase in the capacity that we have, because now we know that even when a baby comes into our office without any change of clothes and they're filthy dirty, we're able to clean them up and we're able to change them into a clean outfit. So we're very fortunate, and we wouldn't be able to do the job that we do without our partnerships in the community. So thank you so much.
And if anybody decides they want to be like the Glendora representative of Hope in a Suitcase, email me.
Okay. Get it under control here. We got Sellers Elementary and Sellers PTA up next. Each year, Sellers Elementary School and PTA, they hold toy drives for children and collect gift cards for older teens. These gifts are then given to DCFS Glendora to ensure that these children in foster care receive gifts during the holiday season. I'd like to call up representatives from the Sellers Elementary. We got Principal Steve Bishop and Sellers PTA member Jenny Grice. And are you Jenny or Vanessa? Oh, okay. And ask you guys to share a little bit about your partnership and toy drive.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. My name is Steve Bishop. I'm the principal, and this is Jenny Grisset, our PTA president. And back there's Vanessa King, our right-hand woman with PTA. I want to thank Sellers PTA has been just incredible in their support, and we really try to work at Sellers to put programs out there for the kids to learn how to give back to the community and give to others. We have a lot of different programs through our from the support of our PTA, but with our student council and our kindness clubs. But we've been doing a toy drive at for quite a few years and donating that to the DCSF. So it's been a very nice partnership that we've had for many years. And this year it was neat to hear some of the stories, how some of the other groups got together and put parties together to present those things. So it's nice to get the feedback on that. But again, thank you to our Sellers families that are always very supportive and donating all the toys.
That's certificate for you. This for the school, for PTA. Do you want to say a few words? No? Okay. You will. Okay.
Hi, I'm just big on kindness. Let's spread kindness wherever we can. I think we need to teach our kids, and we need to keep that in our community. Kindness, like confetti. And you are pretty amazing. Just wanted to let you know. Thanks.
Again, the type of work that I do, that we all do as the Department of Children and Family Services is pretty overwhelming. And we're very fortunate. I don't know if many of you guys know, but 10 years ago we were on Barranca in the city of Covina. Now we are here in Glendora. And I have to say that, change doesn't happen by coincidence. I think it's all a blessing. And that's one of the things that we've been able to say, that we've been very fortunate to be in this city, to be able to receive the support that we receive from the faith-based community, which is very amazing and impressive. And thank you very much for supporting everything that we do. Sellers, we have 1,700 kids that we service alone from our office. So to get little pockets of donations here and there, especially during the Christmas seasons, goes a long way. There's nothing more heartbreaking than to not be able to spend Christmas with your parents, but if a social worker can bring a toy or a kid can attend a party, it really helps for that moment. We might not be able to change everything for them, but that moment, that time that we're able to provide some type of relief and comfort really goes a long way. So thank you very much, Salers Elementary.
Okay, next we have some others to recognize. DCFS expressed their gratitude to the Glendora faith-based communities and Superior Grocers for coming together to support children in their foster care program during the busy holidays. I'd like to call up representatives from Superior Grocers. Aldo Trejo, did you make it tonight? No, Glendora Community Church Pastor Mike Platter. Mike, you here? I got Vineyard Church Pastor Abigail Gaines. And Grace Church of Glendora Pastor John Dix. This past December, DCFS Glendora branch put on a holiday event for about 150 foster children and their caregivers. These Glendora churches and grocer partnered with them in a big way. They had volunteers involved in the planning of the event. They provided each child with a toy, gift cards, gloves, scarves, and hats. There was much entertainment, face painting, a photo booth, food, lots of food, I understand, and a whole lot more. And I want to congratulate and thank you guys for everything you've done this holidays. You want to say a little bit about what you...
This gentleman is, Bobby, do you want to explain what it is?
I think Bobby always wants to talk a little bit.
Exactly. Mike made me come up here. So, no, it's been really exciting here in the city of Glendora to see the faith-based community particularly come around this issue. My wife and I are foster parents here. We actually had probably our second to last hearing down at Edelman's Children's Court yesterday, and we should hopefully finalize an adoption of our second little one. Second one we've adopted in the last 5 years. So our family is growing. But the faith-based community has come together during the holiday seasons. Right now we're also working with APU, Citrus College, and some other universities to try to figure out how to get foster kids that emancipate to college and university. Less than 3% of that demographic ever graduate from college, and where do they end up? Homeless. They end up on the streets. They end up trafficked. So there's so much for us all to do together, and it really starts here with the faith-based community, the educational community, all working together. So thank you all.
Yeah, so just on behalf of my church, I want to thank City Council and obviously Monica and DCFS. And it really is a joy for us to partner in this way. Part of the heartbeat of our church at Vineyard Church Glendora is caring for the orphan child. We take it as a mandate, and we also believe that if we all do our job, that it's a very solvable problem that we face within our county. I, too, am an adoptive parent. 2 of my children came through LA County, one of them through the foster care system through the Glendora office. And so I know how hard they work there and the social workers work. And so it really is a joy and a privilege for us to come alongside of their effort to alleviate the burdens of children and families through our church. Because we know how hard they work, and also several families in our church community who are also adoptive parents through the foster care system as well. So thank you.
So, on behalf of the Glendora City Council and the entire city of Glendora, I just want to thank you and your church for everything you guys did. Thank you. Congratulations. Mike?
One of the things that I learned when I moved here 13 years ago to Glendora is I had almost my final phone call at the church I was at in Oklahoma City. I got a phone call from a family in the school that had been displaced, and the local school called us. My church and 2 other churches partnered with that school to try to keep families from being put out on the street if they couldn't pay their bills. And the person that called me, and we started arranging it all, and then person said, I understand you're moving to California. I said, yes, I am. And they said, well, what will we do now? We've needed you all in the churches to help us. I said, we've already got my replacement picked. Somebody else is going to do this. It's going to continue on just as it is, and it has. When I came here to Glendora, one of the things that thrilled me about this community is that the churches are willing to partner together, work together, because there's something more important than our own distinctives. It's what it means to serve others in Jesus' name, or to serve others in the name of a community that cares. So thank you for the opportunity to be thanked, but it is our privilege, and I know that each of the other pastors that join me up here feel that way as well.
And again, on behalf of the Glendora City Council and the entire city of Glendora, I want to thank you guys for everything you do.
We love Monica. Monica, you work tirelessly, and the complexity of responsibility that you have is really remarkable. And so I just want to publicly say thank you. Like, thank you for really partnering with us. We are here to serve you. And there's something so powerful about living in this community, and the churches are coming together. And I know, Bobby, you've got a dream and a vision that we can actually resolve this issue, at least within our community. So my wife and I have lived in Glendora for 18 years. We've been fostering for about 5 of those. We've seen 5 kids come through our home and been able to love them and care for them. And there's nothing more important and special than to help children who, for reasons that are none of their own doing, need the love and care of a home and all the love that comes with that in Christ's name. So thank you, Gary and the City Council, for recognizing this, but we are here to serve. We want to be for our community. So thanks so much for leading us and allowing us to do that.
Sorry. You know, I can't stop saying how grateful and how thankful and appreciative we are. Again, it really takes a village to meet the needs of a single child, let alone 35,000 children in care. So for us to be in this area, for us to have the privilege to have partnered with our faith-based community, and knowing that the faith-based community is willing to collaborate, like Pastor John just said, is incredibly amazing. We have the support of our churches, not just for the Christmas party, not just for the Christmas holidays, but I'm talking about the whole year round. And I have to say, I think about what it was prior to having their support, and I just can't fathom, you know, the idea of us doing our everyday jobs without the partnerships that we have now. You know, we have the care crew where we have volunteers come into our office and assist with after-hour detentions. We have, you know, Vineyard Church does the thank you treats to our social workers. We have Grace that also they do the duffel bags for our kids as well. I mean, there's just so many things that we've working together. I'm sorry, there's so many things we've accomplished working together, and it's only the beginning, I feel. So we're not going nowhere. Unfortunately, our need is gonna always remain present and strong in the community, so we hope to continue with our partnerships and continue growing also in the community with other community partners. So thank you very much, and again, thank you guys so very much.
Okay, thank you. Monica, before you leave, if you could stay up here for just a second, because, you know, I got to tell you, we've recognized a number of foster families over the years, and it's always amazing the families that have the ability and the love to be able to take these children into their homes for a period of time. But one of the things that I think it's really important to remember is that the ultimate goal of every one of these children is to get them back connected with their family. And so this is a Children's and Family Services. And I just want to say that on behalf of the city of Glendora, the job that you guys do over there on Grand Avenue is just absolutely amazing. If you never had a chance to go down and see some of the work they do, this is not just a processing center. The people in that building, they love these kids. They want to help these families. They want to try to get people back together. And it's an amazing to have a group of people like you in this facility in our community. And I want to thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Well, I guess that's it. This concludes this evening's events. I want to thank everybody for coming out and sharing your evening with us, get to know each other a little bit. And again, I always want to thank everybody here for making Glendora such a great place to live. Thanks, guys.